The struggle is over. The battle is done. You were never meant to force your way through life like a beast of burden on a path of thorns. You were meant to glide, not crawl. You were designed to receive, not to chase. You've been told that effort is noble, that hustle is holy, that suffering is a rite of passage. But I say to you now, it is not trying that brings you your heart's desire. It is trusting. It is knowing. It is aligning. Let the world keep scrambling and grasping. You will declare. You will speak the word. And then, you will let go. And what you release in faith will return 1,000-fold in form. The subconscious mind, the God within, responds not to begging or bargaining. It responds to certainty. And what is certainty but the absence of effort? Do the lilies of the field toil? Do the birds file tax reports and manifest 5-year plans? No. And yet, they are fed. They are clothed. They are taken care of, not by effort, but by design. And so it is with you. Let go of the fear that says you must do more to be more. Release the tight grip you've wrapped around your dreams. Your dream does not need your tension. It needs your faith. Don't knock down doors. Speak to them. Don't chase people. Bless them and let them come. Don't force outcomes. Align with them. When you stop trying, you make room for the divine plan to unfold. When you step back, the power that knows no obstacle steps forward. When you cease struggling, you begin soaring. Stop acting like life is something you must conquer. Begin living as if life is something that adores you, that conspires in your favor, that delights in giving you all that your heart can hold. Now, I speak this over your life. Every door swings open in divine right order. Every burden dissolves into divine right action. Every need is met, not by struggle, but by grace. So walk tall, not as one who tries, but as one who trusts. Because in the end, it is not the effort that brings the miracle. It is the alignment. It is the faith. It is the letting go. And so it is. The power of your word is not symbolic, it is literal. Every spoken word, whether whispered in hope or shouted in doubt, carries with it the blueprint of what is to come. Words are not mere sounds. They are vessels of vibration, carriers of faith or fear, creators of form or chaos. When you understand this sacred truth, you no longer speak casually or plead desperately. You speak deliberately, decisively, and then you step aside. The great spiritual law is simple. What you declare with unwavering faith, you receive. Your job is not to figure out the how. Your job is to plant the seed. But here's where many falter. They speak the word, then dig up the soil to check if it's growing. They speak in confidence, but follow it with fear. They say, I am divinely guided, and then immediately ask 5 people what they should do. This is not faith. This is interference. To speak the word means to make a bold, uncompromising declaration, spoken aloud or held in inner conviction, that what you desire is already yours. And then, with full trust, you release the outcome to the divine. You no longer beg. You no longer chase. You do not manipulate people, nor conditions, nor time. You simply allow the law to do its perfect work. It is like setting a divine law of mathematics into motion. You would not question whether 2 + 2 = 4. You know the result is guaranteed. In the same way, once you speak the creative word, the spiritual formula begins to work. But doubt is a cancellation notice. Fear is a reversal of energy. When you try to help the process with worry or force, you throw the system into confusion. Speak the word of health. Speak the word of prosperity. Speak the word of love. And do not waver. Refuse to be swayed by appearances, emotions, or the reports of others. Appearances are nothing. They are old echoes of past thoughts. They have no power unless you give it to them. You may say, but what if nothing happens? But something is happening the moment you speak with authority. You cannot see the roots growing under the soil, but they are there. You cannot watch the silent shifts of spirit rearranging your life behind the veil, but they are in motion. When you release the need to see results immediately, you allow miracles to rise without obstruction. Faith is not passive. It is a commanding presence. It says, "This is mine by divine right," and then rests in that knowing. The word, once spoken in alignment with truth, sets a chain of divine causation into action. Your task is not to push, prod, or panic. Your task is to believe, to prepare, and to receive. So speak boldly, speak beautifully, and then step aside. Let the infinite intelligence, which never fails, do what it does best. Turn your spoken word into visible reality. The moment you resist, you shut the door on your own good. Resistance may appear as fear, frustration, doubt, or even endless effort, but it is always rooted in the belief that something must be fought against, controlled, or forced into submission. That belief is a lie. Life is not a battlefield. It is a stream. And the more you thrash against the current, the further you drift from your destination. What you resist, you energize. What you push against, you feed. The law of attraction does not discriminate between yes and no. It simply magnifies whatever holds your attention. So when you resist lack, you feed lack. When you resist delay, you feed delay. When you resist people, circumstances, or even your own emotions, you become magnetically bound to them. The true power lies not in resistance but in flow, a state of relaxed trust, open receptivity, and inner alignment with the higher order of things. Flow is not weakness. Flow is precision. Flow is spiritual intelligence in motion. Flow says, "I do not need to fight for what is already mine. I will not grab at the fruit when it is not yet ripe." In flow, you cease to hustle and begin to harmonize. You've been trained to think that effort equals results, that striving is success, that grinding is growth. But what if the opposite is true? What if everything you want is trying to reach you, but your tension is blocking the signal? What if you're not delayed by time but by resistance? Like a clenched fist trying to grasp water, you lose what you try too hard to hold. When you drop resistance, you activate grace. Suddenly, doors open without you knocking. People show up without your chasing. The ideas you were stressing to find appear in quiet moments of peace. Solutions flow when you stop demanding answers. And abundance begins to move in when you no longer struggle to make it happen. Letting go of resistance is not passivity. It is a shift from fear-based doing to faith-based being. It's the inner knowing that the universe knows the way, even when you don't. It's a return to natural rhythm, where life moves through you instead of against you. Consider nature. Does the river try to rush uphill? Does the moon resist the changing tides? No. All of creation operates through ease and rhythm. So why would you, a divine expression of the same source, be required to claw your way forward? You are not here to control the flow. You are here to trust it. When you stop resisting, you reconnect with your own divine current, the part of you that knows where you're going and how to get there effortlessly. The part of you that says, relax. What you're seeking is already seeking you. The work is not in the force. It is in the surrender. And when you release resistance, you don't fall behind. You finally move forward, carried by the power that never struggles and never fails. Letting go is not weakness. It is not resignation, passivity, or failure. Letting go is strength in its purest form. It is the spiritual act of releasing your grip on the illusion of control and stepping aside so the infinite intelligence can take over. The moment you truly let go, not in fear, but in faith, you release a power greater than anything your effort could ever produce. You stop wrestling with life and begin dancing with it. Many people live in a constant state of tension, trying to control outcomes, predict timing, and manipulate circumstances to bend to their will. They believe that their constant thinking, worrying, and over-planning is what keeps everything together. But in truth, it is that very grasping that delays what they want. The more you try to force life, the more it slips through your fingers. The more you hold on tightly, the more pain you create. Letting go does not mean giving up your desires. It means surrendering your attachment to the way and the when. It means acknowledging that there is a higher order at work, an intelligence that sees the road ahead, even when you do not. When you finally release the need to micromanage the process, you open the door for miracles. You create space for the right people, the right opportunities, and the right timing to flow into your life naturally and effortlessly. This is not theory, it is law. Letting go is a signal to the universe that you trust. And trust is magnetic. It calls in your good with clarity and speed. The moment you say, I don't need to figure this out, you invite divine solutions that surpass your imagination. The moment you say, I release this to a higher power, you align with the force that moves mountains without lifting a finger. Most people only let go when they are exhausted, when their plans fall apart, their strength runs out, and nothing seems to work. But spiritual mastery is choosing to let go before you're forced to. It's choosing faith before fear tightens its grip. It's saying, I surrender now, not because I'm weak, but because I know there is something greater at work. Letting go is not sitting on the sidelines of life. It's showing up fully, doing what is yours to do, and then stepping back with peace. You take the inspired action, you speak the word, you hold the vision, and then you release the how, the when, and the who. You stop arguing with reality and start cooperating with destiny. And here is the paradox. When you let go, things come faster. The relationship arrives. The opportunity calls. The door opens. Not because you chased it, but because you trusted it. You allowed it. You made space for it. You stopped trying to be the source and instead became the receiver. Letting go is not a last resort. It is the first act of true power. It is the silent command that says, I no longer carry this burden, because it was never mine to carry. There is a great misconception in the world that ease equals laziness, that if something isn't difficult, it can't be meaningful. But that is the language of fear, not truth. Effortless living is not the absence of action. It is the presence of alignment. It is not about doing nothing. It's about doing the right thing at the right time, guided by inner knowing rather than outer pressure. It is mastery, not of the world, but of self. The masters of life are not those who hustle themselves into exhaustion. They are not the ones who grind endlessly to prove their worth. The ones who truly succeed, spiritually, emotionally, and even materially, are those who have learned to live in harmony with the invisible laws of the universe. They have learned that force is never as powerful as flow. They do not act out of panic or scarcity. They act from a deep place of certainty, clarity, and trust. Effortless living is the result of spiritual alignment. It is what happens when your thoughts, beliefs, and energy are in sync with the truth of who you are. You are not here to strain, strive, and stress your way through life. You are here to create, receive, and express the highest version of yourself. And that version of you does not operate through chaos. That version of you moves through peace, intuition, and divine timing. Some will say, but I must work hard or nothing will come. And indeed, if you believe that, it becomes true, for you create your own reality. But what if you chose a different belief? What if you declared, everything I need flows to me with ease? What if you replaced effort with expectancy, and striving with surrender? You would begin to see a life shaped not by sweat and struggle, but by synchronicity and serenity. Living effortlessly does not mean you stop moving. It means you stop pushing. It means your actions are guided, not forced. Your days are inspired, not burdened. You follow the whispers of spirit, rather than the screams of fear. You understand that timing is sacred, and that rest is not a reward, but a requirement for alignment. You recognize that you are a channel, not the source, and as a channel, your only job is to stay clear and open. When you embrace effortless living, life responds. People are drawn to your peace. Opportunities seem to fall into place. Obstacles vanish before they form. Why? Because you are no longer operating from resistance. You are not blocking your good with doubt or desperation. You are tuned to the frequency of receiving. You are in rhythm with divine law. It takes far more courage to trust than to toil. But once you cross the threshold, you discover the truth. That the most powerful life is not the loudest, fastest, or hardest. It is the most aligned. the most peaceful, the most effortless. And in that effortless way of living, you find everything you were once struggling to get.